Your room is ugly, and you probably don't even realize it yet. You've been walking past those bare walls, that sad, empty shelf, and that corner that just has nothing going on, and you've accepted it. But here's the thing. You already have everything you need to completely transform your space. A hook, some yarn, and maybe 2 hours of your time. I'm going to show you some of the easiest, most satisfying crochet room decor ideas that any beginner can actually make. Not the stuff you see on Pinterest that looks beautiful but takes 6 months to finish. Real projects, things you'll actually complete and put up in your room. Let's talk about why most beginners give up before their room ever gets to look good. You find a project you love, you buy the yarn, you sit down excited, and then you realize the pattern is written in what feels like a different language. SC, DC, CH3, SLT. What does any of that even mean? So you put it down. The yarn goes into a bag, the bag goes under your bed, and your room stays exactly the same. That's not a you problem, that's a pattern problem. The projects I'm going to walk you through today are picked specifically because they are beginner-friendly in the truest sense. No complicated stitch combinations, no weird techniques that need a tutorial just to understand the tutorial. Just simple, clean projects that look way more impressive than the effort they actually take. So let's get into it, starting with one of my absolute favorites, the wall hanging. A crochet wall hanging is probably the single best first room decor project you can make. Here's why. It's flat. You're not shaping anything. You're not working in the round. You're just going back and forth in rows. That's it. And when it's done, you hang it on your wall and suddenly your room has a focal point. It goes from looking like a dorm room to looking like someone actually lives there intentionally. For a basic wall hanging, all you need is a chunky yarn. Something like a size 6 or bulky weight works great here. A large crochet hook, around a 6mm or bigger, and a wooden dowel, or even just a thick stick you found outside. Some people use a piece of driftwood, and it looks incredibly cool. You're going to start by chaining a number of stitches that matches the width you want your hanging to be. Let's say you want it about 12 inches wide. Chain somewhere around 20 to 25 stitches depending on your yarn thickness. Then you just work in single crochet rows, going back and forth until the piece is as long as you want it to be. You can make it short and wide or long and narrow. Both look great depending on where you hang it. Now here's where you make it interesting. Instead of leaving the bottom edge flat, you're going to add fringe. Cut pieces of yarn about double the length you want your fringe to be. Fold them in half and pull them through the bottom stitches using your hook. Then just pull the ends through the loop and tighten. Do that across the whole bottom edge, and suddenly your simple rectangle looks like actual art. You can leave the fringe as is, or you can trim it into a shape, like a V or a curve to give it more personality. Attach your dowel or stick through the top row of stitches, tie a piece of yarn on both ends as a hanger, and you're done. First project. Hang it above your bed, your desk, anywhere. It's going to change the whole feel of that wall. Now let's move on to something you probably didn't think could be crocheted, a plant hanger. If you have a plant, or even if you want an excuse to finally buy one, a crochet plant hanger is such a good project. It looks bohemian, it adds texture and life to your room, and it takes up 0 floor space because it hangs from the ceiling. It's also one of those projects that people walk into your room and immediately say, "Wait, did you make that?" The basic version is almost entirely just chains and simple knot-style work. You're going to cut several long pieces of yarn. Think around 8 to 10 pieces, each about 4 to 5 feet long. Fold them all in half and tie them together at the top with a knot, leaving a loop at the very top for hanging. Then you separate the strands into groups and work simple crochet or even macrame-style knots at intervals going down. Leave some space between the knots so the pot can sit in the cradle of the yarn at the bottom. Gather all the ends at the bottom and tie another knot to close everything off, leaving some fringe hanging below. The result is this organic, textured hanger that looks like it came from a boutique shop. Put a small succulent or trailing plant in there and hang it near a window. It genuinely transforms the vibe of your room in a way that's hard to describe until you see it. And if you're worried about the plant pot falling through, just make sure your bottom cradle is tight enough and the pot has a lip that can rest on the strands. Most small plant pots work perfectly. Let's keep going because we're just getting started. Coasters. I know, that sounds boring, but hear me out. Crochet coasters are one of the most underrated room decor items out there. When you put a set of handmade coasters on your desk or nightstand, it pulls the whole area together. They add color, they add texture, and they're genuinely useful. Plus, they're so fast to make. You can crochet a coaster in like 20 minutes once you get the hang of it.
Is something a lot of beginners feel nervous about, but coasters are honestly the perfect place to practice it because they're small and low stakes. You're going to start with a magic ring. If you don't know what that is, it's just a way to start crocheting in a circle without leaving a hole in the center. You can find a 30-second explanation of it online and it'll make sense immediately. From your magic ring, you crochet a few stitches into the center, then work outward in increasing rounds, adding stitches as you go to keep the circle flat. A basic coaster is usually about 4 to 6 rounds, depending on your yarn weight. When it's the size you want, you slip stitch to close, cut your yarn, and weave in the end. That's it. Make 4 or 6 of them in colors that match your room and stack them neatly somewhere visible. They're a small detail, but those small details are what make a space feel curated versus random. Okay, now let's talk about something a little bigger, a crochet throw blanket for your bed or couch. This one takes more time than the other projects I mentioned, I'm not going to lie to you, but the result is so worth it, and the actual crocheting is still completely beginner level. You're just making a big rectangle, long rows of stitches working back and forth until you have a blanket. The stitch that works best for this as a beginner is the half double crochet. It creates a really nice texture, it's faster than single crochet, and it looks chunky and cozy in a way that photographs incredibly well. Use a super bulky yarn, like a size 7, and a big hook, around 9mm or 10mm. The stitches will be large so the blanket will grow fast, and the whole thing will feel satisfying to work on because you'll see real progress every single time you sit down to crochet. Drape a finished blanket over the corner of your bed, over the back of a chair, or fold it on a shelf. It instantly makes your room feel warmer and more lived in. It's one of those things where people come over and go, "Your room is so cozy," and it's because of that one blanket. Pick a color that ties into what you already have in your room. If your bedding is neutral, go for something with a bit of color. If your room already has a lot going on, stick with cream, white, or oat tones. It'll ground everything. Now let's talk about something smaller but still super impactful, a crochet bookend cover or vase cozy. If you have a plain glass vase or a boring bookend, you can crochet a little sleeve that wraps around it and completely changes how it looks. This is one of those projects that sounds weird until you see it, and then you immediately want to make 5 of them. For a vase cozy, you're working in the round again, starting from the bottom and working your way up. You want the fabric to be slightly stretchy so it hugs the vase. Cotton yarn works really well for this. You start by making a flat circle for the base, just like you would for a coaster, and then once the circle is the right diameter to match your vase's bottom, you stop increasing